So,
Dun dun dun.
so, and now the continuation. Uh, as I said, though, we are going to actually rewind time about 30 minutes or so before Bianca got that call. We are on the bridge of the Dauntless. Uh, actually, let me rephrase that just a bit. We'll put everyone on Earth's space dock, and by everyone, I mean one Ensign Naomi Kadir, who has just gotten to Sol system. Uh, has been on you've been on Earth space dock for the past couple of days, awaiting your orders. Um, Orders came down rather suddenly, about an hour or so ago. So Dauntless had been docked there for a couple of days, and you had seen that ship. It was the first time you have seen a Yorktown class starship, and even looking at it from inside Earth space dock, the ship is large, half again the size of a Sovereign class starship, if you know how big those are.
The Enterprise E.
Yes.
Ah, puts it
So
in perspective.
Yeah.
sorry about that.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
if you've got any questions, but by the way, like if you're like, okay, hold on, I'm not that big of a nerd. Can you explain the thing? Stop me and ask.
Can.
Uh,
Thanks.
shortly after you arrived, well, not shortly after you arrived, about an hour before the setting for this scene, you received orders to the USS Dauntless as its chief science officer, and so you find yourself about to beam on board the Dauntless, and that is where we will pick up. Now I'll put you all back on the bridge. And let's see, where's my sound effects? Naomi, you have seen archaeological sites that are smaller in their totality than the bridge of this ship. Uh, it probably stretches about 30 meters from end to end, about 10 to 15 meters from the port side to the starboard side. Uh, it's a microcosm of the ship in terms of how large the bridge actually is. And as you're kind of looking around, you see what looks to be a dolphin, uh, equipped with some anti-grav modules along its body. So it kind of swims through the air up to you and says, "Oh, hello, welcome. You are." And it looks down uh, at a pad that's on like an exoskeleton and says, "Ensign Kadir,
Yes, that's me.
you're going to be the new chief science officer, right? Oh, that's such a it's so good to have you here. Hang on, I need to do something real quick. Computer, transfer chief science officer authentication codes to Ensign Naomi Kadir. Authorization Catalea Epsilon 1. Computer responds, authorization code recognized. Authentication codes transferred. Welcome on board. Ensign Naomi Kadir.
I'm speechless at this point. I'm looking around kind of like with a half smile, like, am I hallucinating? Is this a joke? I'm not quite sure what has happened. I've never seen anything like this.
Um, the doors to the turbo lift port on the starboard side of the bridge open, and a lieutenant walks out, dark-skinned man with a thin beard, um, and a Bajoran earring on one of his ears. And Journey, I'll let you describe your character,
Mm.
who
Uh,
walks out to the scene of Catalea interacting with a new science officer, ensign rank, whom you have not seen before on the ship.
okay.
like Don said, he has darker skin, a small, not scruffy, but very well kept beard. He clearly looks human, but definitely has a Bajoran earring hanging from one of his ears. He is wearing the yellow of the operations. Is that still a thing, or would it be
Yep.
con?
It's operations.
Okay, he has the uniform with the yellow stripings for operations. I just forgot how tall he is. I'm checking my notes.
Oh, that's fine.
And he stands at about 6'2". And when he does walk into the room and he kind of notices this person, does he get any hinky feelings from her at all?
No, she is perfectly normal in respects to temporal readings, as it were.
Oh, thank goodness.
Jonas immediately. Who is this? I got the shit.
What timeline are you from? You do notice she has very dark eyes, which are kind of a trademark of not Bajorans, of Betazoids.
Oh, okay, that's gonna be fun. He has a very, like, the moment he notices you, he was already kind of smiling. He's looking at a data pad, and as he looks up, his smile gets a bit bigger, if more curious, and walks over to both Catalea and you. Hi, I don't think I recognize you. Catalea, who's your new friend?
Oh, Jonas, this is Ensign Naomi Kadir. She's the new chief science officer that we just got orders for. And
Wait, new science officer?
new science officer. I
What
know,
happened
I'm a little
to other-
surprised too. I just try to keep up these days.
Wait, what do we... Oh, never.
If it helps, I also just got these orders within the hour, so I'm also a little prepared to be on this ship of all ships.
Well, I'm gonna say if your first month was anything like my first month, I'm really hoping it's not. I'm
That's
Lieutenant
comforting.
Jonas Corden, by the way.
To meet you, I'm Ensign Kadir.
I'm the pilot of this beautiful piece of machinery.
And I'm just kind of looking around, very awestruck and a little nervous. And I tell you, I've never been on a ship this large. I haven't been on a lot of ships, to be quite honest.
Really?
To say, planet side, studying different sorts of archaeological sites. So I haven't been on a lot of ships, only not this size.
Oh, wow, okay. That's really interesting, though. Archaeology, so is that your forte in science?
That and more of my focus is in neuroscience. I've done a little bit more with neuroscience, but I grew up on Camus 2, which was where my parents studied the life energy transfer machine that was discovered by Enterprise a long time ago. But there was a whole bunch of technology, different archaeological sites there that have been studied for quite a number of years. But I grew up on that colony there, and so I do have kind of a background in that. But my focus at the Felker Institute was in neuroscience.
That's actually pretty interesting. You'll probably get along really well with Dahli.
May I ask who is Dahli? I said I just got these orders last hour, so I'm not quite sure who everybody is.
Dahli is our doctor on the ship.
Ah, yes, I probably will have lots to discuss with them about, especially about neuroscience. Killer.
Has anyone offered you the tour yet?
I just beamed aboard.
Okay, well, if you are interested and have the time, I can show you where everything's at.
I'll bring
Would
your
be great.
personal belongings aboard, Catalea interjects.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, Catalea, if you have time later, I could use your help with something in the Hollow Bay.
Oh, I would love to help. Yes, let's get Ensign Kadir sorted, and then we'll go from there.
Of course. All right. So obviously, this is our bridge. It is the biggest bridge I have ever been on.
Can also say that as well.
Captain's chair, first officer's chair. No one really knows what the third chair is for because no one ever really sits in it on this ship.
So chair then.
I believe this would be your station over here, and he'll lead her over to the science station.
Fantastic.
And gazing at this, Naomi, you've been on a handful of ships. None have had the level of sophistication and, frankly, power available to them that is available to the Dauntless's sensor suites.
Yes, I start kind of looking at everything, and maybe even some of it I'm not quite sure what it even does, because it looks like even more sophisticated than equipment I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of looking over it, a little confused by everything, taking it all in.
Plus, knowing why, it's probably all in Romulan.
And
Over
super
there.
encrypted.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no, they would have taken care of that.
Over there, we've got tactical. That's where Shiena usually is. Dali has her own station, kind of, sort of over here with you, and I'm up there towards the front in on the left-hand side. Yep, there we go. I normally sit over there. There's normally someone else on the other side who takes over if I need to go do something else, but I don't really trust anyone else to fly the ship. The last time I let anybody else fly a ship, they crashed it. He
Oh,
will
that's not
never
fair to
forgive-
your captain.
No. He specifically means the Makos. He will never forgive the
Oh,
Makos.
that's true. I was gonna say I've flown the ship when you couldn't at one
You're fine.
point.
You're fine. The Makos are on his naughty list for breaking the
The
law.
Mako had a con of 1.
Tell me, have you ever been on a ship with Slipstream?
I do not think I have been.
No, she would not have been.
You are in for a real big treat then. We can cover distances in the matter of seconds that would probably normally take hours or weeks. It is great.
It's quite amazing.
It is. Though a little disconcerting when you kind of open yourself up while you're in Slipstream, and then you kind of feel wibbly wobbly and everywhere at once, and it's very strange.
Well, I'm sure I'll experience the sensation soon enough.
He kind of just smiles like this, maybe not smile, and then sort of like leads her over to the turbo lift to lead to the rest of the ship.
Okay,
I guess
so
our first stop should be the med bay.
okay. Let me find sick bay. Drag it over because I have a lot of screens up at the top here.
That is me in my Amonkhet game. I have so many maps. It is
Mhm.
not even me.
That's you in every game, you DM Journey.
It's
What
everyone
are
in
you
every
calling
game.
Don't call me out like that.
Every DM except for me.
And I'm assuming that the turbo lift doesn't open up into med bay. It's like a corridor that leads to
Right,
med bay.
there's a hallway that a short hallway because you don't want sick bay too far away from the turbo lift.
Hmm. Hmm. And this would be Medbay with, did she get, Dauntless is Centurion, right? That's
Or
her.
doctor. They prefer doctor.
Or doctor.
Right
Dr.
now, though,
Doc.
they're aboard Earth Space Dock.
Okay.
So it'd probably just be a nurse or the EMH.
Oh.
But right now
the
it's actually
EMH.
empty.
So like opening
Yeah.
up the doors, realizing that Dahley is on Earth Space Dock, and he's actually hiding on the ship when he should be on Earth Space Dock. So, Medbay, Dr. Dahley is currently on Earth Space Dock.
I'll look forward to meeting with them later. This looks a little bit more familiar since I spent a lot of time kind of in a more of this kind of not med bays, technically like research labs, but seems a little bit more my speed.
How about astronavigation next? Astrometrics, not astronavigation.
Yes, astrometrics. Give me a moment to pull that up.
Space.
What is astrometrics?
Journey, how would you describe that?
Well, from what I understand of it as the player, astrometrics is a way of enhancing our scanners to. It's basically a giant map room of the universe.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Okay.
Like if you had. Oh shoot! I don't have a good backdrop to put in here. Bear with me just a moment.
You go in here to like view star systems.
Exactly.
In greater
Yeah.
detail.
Did you watch Star Trek Generations?
Oh yes.
Okay, so it's kind of like stellar cartography, only smaller scale.
Okay.
All right, now let me actually. Now that I've prepared the room, I can give you all the visual. So, astrometrics, kids.
From here, we can pretty much pull up any information that we need on any sector of the galaxy or quadrant, based on if we have that information or not.
Interesting.
Oh,
Probably come in handy when we visit some different planets and things.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, here we go.
I can
Here's
actually-
a map that would come in useful.
Yeah, actually, Jonas was about to pull up the Carina Nebula map.
Where did that map come from? It was in the corner of the screen, like magic.
Jonas will type across a few of the L cars and pull up a really, really pretty nebula. This is the Carina Nebula, which is where we were actually stationed before we were asked to come to Earth Space Station. It's probably where we'll go back.
Interesting. A lot of this is uncharted, correct?
A lot of it is. We're slowly getting bits and pieces of it. What we're finding out there is pretty amazing, actually. The number one thing we're encountering out there, amusingly, or unamusingly to some people, would be temporal discrepancies and things like that.
Interesting. Temporal discrepancies, how?
Well, things that are from the future but have been a part of our timeline so long that they look like they belong, feel like they belong, but they don't belong.
Things that kind of out of sync, so they seem like they happened a long time ago, but they're really from the future. Am I understanding that correctly?
And he'll explain what, like, with the minimum details about how they discovered the Federation ring and how it created the nebula, like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
A big temporal circuit.
Bizarre and interesting.
The only way to describe like the ring is if you've ever played Halo and you've seen the planetary Halo rings in the game. That's basically the only way I can describe the Federation planet ring thing.
It was like
Right.
Ring World.
Exactly like Ring World. I mean, not the Ring World, but a Ring World.
So I know none of those references. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
So imagine a ring. Imagine a ring, but there's like a civilization inside the ring.
The ring. Okay.
And the ring is basically built so that its radius is the distance from the Earth to the Sun. So it's a huge construct.
One AU. It's huge.
Is it like a station, or is it just like a ring? Matter.
Like a station. Like
Oh.
artificially built and with the interior of it terraformed.
Mass Effect.
Kind of like,
the
yeah,
Citadel.
like the Presidium on the Citadel, only way bigger.
Okay.
Oh, very good. That's a very good way of putting it.
I've got a good visual now.
Yeah.
And the Federation of the Future, when they built this ring, they were trying to use it in order to escape an enemy that was killing them off in the future. These people were called the Scania, and they ended up taking this ring to the past. But as they took it to the past, it broke apart and inadvertently created the Carina Nebula, as all the different pieces of it blasted in from the future, creating a giant. Was it a tear in subspace?
Kind
Or
of,
just like
yeah.
it created a ginormous tear in subspace, which is actually still kind of there if you go scan for it.
Seems almost improbable.
I'll
take your word for it.
I have all the data to back up these claims.
Be interested to look at it later.
All right. Is there any other place you would want to go check out?
Go to engineering so Jezza isn't alone.
You can see my mood board with Scotty on it.
Let's go to
Pinterest board.
engineering. We actually have another crew member who's not as new as you, but is still only like a few weeks a part of the crew. So
Them.
that'll be good. Down to engineering.
And when you arrive and the turbolift doors open, and this is Naomi. This is easily the largest warp core you've seen in any ship. In fact, standing at 4 decks tall, it might be larger than a couple of the ships that you've traveled on.
Boy.
Feel the vibrational hum.
Wom, wom.
And yeah, this is what makes the Dauntless live and breathe.
I mean, it makes sense that this warp core would be as large as it is for such a ship so large.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I am just flummoxed by how big this ship is.
It's basically a floating city.
Is Jezza around, or are they on Space Dock?
I'll leave that up to her.
That's a very good question. Jezza doesn't actually have a lot of friends, so she's probably back in the engineering
Yeah.
area.
Probably
Not
recovering
choosing it.
from the whole ordeal of receiving a medal the day
Yeah,
before.
no, she's hiding in a fucking corner going, oh my god, what's happening?
You should pin the medal to your mood board.
Yeah,
Next to your picture of Scotty.
it's on my mood board.
Oh, how about this?
Jessica
Computer.
gives me kind of gives me Entrapta vibes.
She kind of does, yeah.
Computer, is Lieutenant Jezzaran aboard the USS Dauntless?
Lieutenant Jessaran is in main engineering.
more specific coordinates?
Lower deck, near the mood board.
Thank you.
I fucking hate that the computer knows about the
I just
mood board.
whisper under my breath, mood board? Like what part of the ship is that?
If Jonas, like the look on Jonas's face is like he's just taking it in stride. He totally knows what it is, even though on the inside he has no. And he'll lead you down to the main floor and over towards the mood board where Jezza is.
And so, Jezza, if you wanted to describe your character and as much of the mood board as you would like to.
So, when Jezza notices that people have walked up on her, you hear her give like a squeaking kind of shriek and jump a little bit and then turn to greet you.
Definitely entrapped her.
I've never seen this show, so I'm sorry.
Aw.
You'll have
I know.
to watch it, but it's good.
But so she does a like squeaking shriek and jumps and turns to say hello. And she is, I actually cannot remember 100%. Give me 1 second. I can't remember if I like, oh my god, what have I done?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do? I had control held
Have you
down
looked-
and I just screwed up my entire.
Oh no!
Webpage,
Hit Control and 0. That should fix your zoom.
I fixed it,
Okay.
but I was like, oh no, what have I done? I was really confused for a second. She. Oh my god, sorry, I'm like blanking. Hold on. Like, I know what my character looks like.
Oh,
My
well,
words are failing.
I can do that, and it'll pop up on everyone's screen.
She does a horrible job of keeping her hair out of place. So there's frequently maybe like a tiny bit of grease in it, like just on the ends, because it gets stuck in the engine pieces sometimes when she crawls in there. And she looks like she'd rather not be speaking to anyone right now. Like you have caught her at the worst possible moment you could have ever caught her. She has a trail, so she has those trademark spots, mostly covered by her hair. But behind her, when you look past the shifting trail, behind her is what can only be described as a large, strange corkboard. 1 second.
Discord link incoming.
So it's like a corkboard, really large, and it is covered in sketches of parts that she's designed, different scribbles about how best to optimize certain parts. There is.
Tell me there's math scribbles.
Oh, there's absolutely math scribbles.
Yes.
And then there is a large picture of Scotty. Oh gosh, what was his fucking rank?
Captain.
Captain.
Yeah. Captain Scotty, just right there on the mood board, full view of engineering. And next to it is the medal that she's just been given, just like pinned on there because that's where it belongs and not on her ever. Never, ever. Jonas! What are you doing down here in engineering? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm showing around the new science officer, and he will motion to the ensign.
I'm I'm sorry, the new what?
The new science officer that apparently we are getting today, right now.
Hello, I'm Ensign Naomi Kadir.
Nice to meet you. I am Lieutenant Commander Ron. I just was not expecting to meet a new science officer. What happened to Rye?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
Right. Okay.
I haven't even seen him since he was treated by Dauntless.
Well,
Except
I
at
guess I'm-
the ceremony, and then he vanished.
I guess I'm not getting that drink then. Welcome aboard, Ensign. Sorry, I am still a little surprised by everything.
You weren't the only one.
I apologize that my presence is such a surprise.
I'm sure it's going to be a surprise for everyone, so you don't really have to apologize. I just, I knew the person in your position before. The last host knew him. I've known him for a while, but that's fine. You know, I don't have to be kept in the loop for anything, because why would that be a thing that happens? Oh God, you saw the mood board.
I was gonna say during this time, like maybe I'm like trying to peek around you to like look at the equations and like what's actually on there, and
And just this rush of embarrassment hits you like a wave coming off of the lieutenant. Sorry, the lieutenant commander.
this is the mood board.
I usually keep it covered. I was reorganizing it.
Oh.
That picture of Montgomery Scott.
Yes,
Guess I mean
it is.
engineering and him being an engineer, that makes sense.
Yep, that's why I have it. Because I'm an engineer and he was an engineer, and that is exactly the reason and no others.
She's lying.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely picking that one up. I have to be a Betazoid first to know that one.
Just a big fan of his work. You know, it's fine.
I mean, I imagine most engineers are a big fan of him. I mean, we learn about him, you know, in the academy and stuff, so makes sense. Yep. And I'm just kind of like awkwardly nodding my head and
Oh, Jezza is like shifting and trying to make eye contact, but failing entirely. There's no eye contact happening.
Jonas at this point will step in, fully taking pity on you.
My poor heart.
suffered enough.
All right, well, I guess I will continue our tour of the ship. Jezza, are you going to be all right down here?
I will be fine. I guess, have a few questions for the computer as to what's going on, but it's fine. Good luck with the rest of your tour.
Oh,
thank you. It's
Speak
very
of
nice meeting you, Lieutenant Commander.
Speak of the.
By the way,
nothing to no one even. Just don't.
By the way, the computer's the one who gave up your mood board. Bye.
That's fine. I can fix that.
So where to next?
I guess the mess hall.
Yeah, okay. It's gonna
Or
be
the main
kind of
socialization area of the ship.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of quick though because we are coming up on the on like remerging with the main
That's
story.
totally
So
fine. Totally fine.
okay, but here we are, mess hall.
Uh, yeah, quick question: do we have like an actual kitchen, or is everything replicated?
There is an
There
actual
is a kitchen. Yes.
Okay, so unlike
And replicators, so.
unlike some ships, we do have an actual kitchen here with an actual cook who makes really good food, and we also have replicators.
Wow. I'm assuming this is like huge cafeteria size because of like how big the ship
Mhm.
is.
I mean, there are probably several mess halls. This would be the officers' mess. And yeah, the chef is a oh shoot, help me out here. What was Talaxian?
Mm-hmm.
The chef is Talaxian, and just kind of waves from behind the counter.
I give an
Hopefully
awkward
there's not a
wave
plethora of
back.
Leola root. Plus, we also do have a bar. That's just a separate area, like an O Club.
Separate from the mess hall.
Yeah, and Shanna's brother is the bartender.
I totally forgot about that.
It's true.
I do.
I
I
didn't
know
think
about
he
this?
stayed on the ship.
Did he not stay on the ship?
Wait,
well, he
who?
was a
No.
bartender there for a while.
He was a bartender for a while. I didn't think he, like
Okay.
after the
No,
whole.
he
didn't know.
did. He did not
I
stay
just-
on the ship.
I missed the part where he did not stay on the ship. So, but he was one for a while. But we do have like a bar,
Farm.
kind of like 10 forward area. We don't call it 10 forward because it's not forward on deck 10, but it's basically
like
that kind of lounge area. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you can
guess
kind of
this is-
see it over in the background there.
Yep. And since you're the science officer, I guess this is where you'll be eating with us.
Nice. I haven't had like been away on a couple of expeditions, so I haven't had anything but replicated food for a while. So it'll be nice to have just a couple fresh meals here or there.
And I made sure to stock up on fresh fruits and vegetables while we were here on Earth.
Very nice.
You're amazing.
Fresh provisions.
Mm.
Made some asari gumbo.
Yeah, unlike some ships' chefs, the Talaxian does not also like clear the plumbing.
Also, plumb the toilet.
Yes.
So
So
I guess we
Jonas,
can just say that Jonah.
yeah, I was gonna say this is about the time when Jonas gets a communication from the captain.
Actually, it would just be like because I think last time it was just a recall of everybody. Like,
Oh yeah, probably so.
yeah, it was just like all hands. This is the captain to your stations. All hands. This is the captain to your stations.
Oh well, that's us.
So, jumping into the thick of it.
Yeah, my very first day here on this ship, I flew into Zenkethi battle space. It was great.
Think we'll be doing something similar?
Not this close to Earth, space dog. At least I hope not.
Foreshadowing.
Guess we better get going then.
Mm-hmm. And we'll take the turbo lift back up to the bridge.
Okay. So other senior staff are starting to come back up onto the bridge. Dauntless, Shiana, this is about the time that you all come back onto the ship and notice the new chief science officer at the science station.
Oh, so Shiana like comes back onto the bridge and like starts grousing like to the nearest available person, which
It happens to be the science officer.
how's this better be good. I mean, I got 1 day of honeymoon. Like, what is this?
Of honeymoon?
Oh, Hi, you're new. I'm
Yes.
Commander Darrow, First Officer of the Dauntless, and I just got married.
Oh, honeymoon makes sense then. Well, I apologize that it was cut short. I'm Ensign Naomi Kadir.
Oh, well, good to have you aboard, Ensign. I'll be taking a look at your personnel files since that's part of my duties as first officer. Shiana, okay, and for the record, Shiana's being very weird. Like, this is not typical Shiana.
Shiana hates this part of her job. She's not about the paperwork.
She's not about the paperwork or really like getting like immediately chummy with people, like to facilitate the whole I'm the first officer of the ship kind of a thing. But also, like, her honeymoon just got interrupted, and I think that's like more of the.
There are levels of the frustration here.
Yeah, there are levels of awkwardness, frustration.
Jessa is absolutely not staring awkwardly.
And yeah, this would be about the time that Bianca West comes out of her ready room.
Okay. Were you gonna describe Shiana,
Oh,
Kate, before?
Oh yeah, so Shiana is not. She's not like overly tall. What is she, like 5'8"?
sounds about
She's,
right.
yeah, she's about 5'8". But she's lean and obviously like muscled and like ready to go. Like, she just has a physicality about her. She's got super short hair, almost like buzz cut. Dark hair, kind of a lean, mean face too. Dark eyes, and yeah, she's the security officer, and it's just like all over her.
Okay.
And so
All
yeah,
right. You see a woman walk out of the ready room. She is you can throw my sheet thing up,
Yep.
Don. She has like that Captain Marvel blonde hairstyle. Very light blonde. And she's wearing a black uniform with white shoulders and the red striping across the chest, which clearly denotes her as the captain of a vessel. And she's looking down at a pad as she's coming out of her ready room, and then when she is about to step towards her chair, she turns her head towards the helm and she goes, "Lieutenant Carden, prepare to disengage docking clamps."
Aye,
And-
Captain.
And Naomi, the captain, you can feel the presence and her surface thoughts radiating off of her. She's a powerful telepath.
Am I feeling anything?
Yeah, you're picking up like your new science officer is a Betazoid, and
Also
there's
a telepath.
just like this brief touching of minds.
I think I need to make a composure roll for this.
Okay, let's set the difficulty at 2,
Okay.
and it'll be control command. And your composure focus applies here. Okay,
All right.
3 successes, so you gain a momentum, putting y'all at 4.
And at that, Naomi kind of like you kind of brush against Bianca's mind, and then a trap or like a door just slams down, and then you can't read anything. She's flat.
Be like a little taken aback by that.
And you don't suspect that it's something she's consciously doing. it's just like it's just a reaction. But you don't see any physical reaction or anything like that. And then she settles into her chair and she motions to, and she continues on to Jonas, and she says, once we've cleared space doors, set a course for the I-high system, maximum quantum slipstream velocity.
Would out of character, would Jonas be familiar with the system they're about to go to?
So let me.
Yes, it is deep within the Romulan Empire.
I don't
So
actually.
Shiana definitely like turns to the captain and raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, Captain Dauntless just like, excuse me?
Jonas doesn't hesitate, but there are all forms of question marks appearing in his brain. But then it just sort of like goes back to that very neutral, go with the flow type stuff. All right, and do I need to roll anything?
I'm not gonna have you roll for this. It's fairly standard. Like unless y'all are doing one like full impulse out of space dock, then no.
Not unless Jonas wants to show off.
Maneuvering thrusters only while in Earth space dock.
Also,
wait. Did the Admiral like order us to 39 Sierra first?
He did order y'all to 39 Sierra
Okay,
and said stand by
I'll
for
just
orders
say-
there.
Okay, I said, scratch that. Say I'm ordering you to set a course for Starbase 39 Sierra.
Oh, I Captain.
Also for Naomi, the science officer, or not the science, the medical officer, who is probably the last person to come on, because I was shopping, god damn it,
And enjoying root beer.
and yeah, exactly, I was making friends. You don't have any idea how hard that is for me. Has a Borg implant underneath their right eye, and their left arm is kind of like, if you know what Bucky's looks like in the
Winter
Avengers
Soldier?
movie. Yeah, the Winter Soldier
Mhm.
is like that, and she's Romulan. Like, so she's got the ridges and the pointy ears. And just kind of like walks past the science station, like notices that someone's there, and like does like that half step pause but doesn't say anything.
And before Bianca sits in the chair, like you notice that Bianca, like she's about 5'7", and she's very curvy, like plus size supermodel kind of curvy. And she just and she sets her pad down on one of the other chairs, and she extends her hand to you. And she goes, "Welcome aboard. I just got the notification you were coming. Sorry that introductions have to be so short."
It's understandable, Captain. I got the orders myself within the hour, so I know it's a little hectic right now.
Yeah, tell me about it. I didn't even have time to read your file.
I'm happy to be aboard. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them.
Well, I don't. My degree is in astrophysics, but that was a long time ago.
And say my background's in neuroscience and archaeology.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll fit in just fine. But once we're underway, I need to call a staff meeting.
And
Understandable.
at this point, Dauntless has cleared space doors. And as the ship emerges, you can see Earth, the North American continent, just spreading out before you. And then Jonas takes the Dauntless into a port side turn, leaning it toward Luna, and you can see the colonies out there, the lights of the cities on Earth's moon. And with the course set, Dauntless engages her quantum slipstream drive and takes off like just like a gazelle. She is at this moment one of the fastest ships in the quadrant. ETA to Starbase 39 Sierra, 35 seconds.
$39. Woohoo, we're crossing
30, well, yeah.
all the way there.
Yeah, and if you look...
I was gonna say, I'm just like at the sensor panel, like trying to get things in order, like, and I'm just like 39 seconds. Like, I thought I'd have just a little bit more time.
I mean, you'll have a little bit more time once the Dauntless arrives at 39 Sierra, so...
What's I gonna say?
And then I guess once we're docked at Starbase 39 Sierra, we'll have a powwow.
A meeting. Alright, I'm just going to keep that image up for the time being. Actually, no, I don't have to, because you're doing the meeting, so conference room time.
Do we have our further orders before the meeting starts?
No, they will be coming in momentarily. You got to give Tanae more than like a minute and a half.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking I would want to wait to call the meeting until I had further instructions.
Might try hailing the station in that case.
Okay. I just didn't know if we were just skipping all of that.
Oh, no,
nicety
that's fair.
dialogue.
That's fair.
Speed run!
Starbase 39 Sierra, this is Dauntless. Requesting permission to dock.
USS Dauntless, this is Admiral Tanae. Permission to dock is granted. I will have orders for you shortly.
And Bianca just nods and she goes, Dauntless out. And she turns to Dockley and she goes, I'd do my best to steer clear of Tanae if I were you, because she does not like Romulans.
I have heard the stories, Captain. If you would prefer, I can go to sickbay.
So you emerge in a system that is that has a planet that looks like it's been cracked open. Starbase 39 Sierra itself is kind of a smaller version of Earth's space dock. It doesn't have all the accoutrements, if you will, beneath the large upper dome. It just kind of has it's the fusion plant and the communications towers. So there's no place inside the station for Dauntless to dock. She basically comes up alongside, and any transport to or from the station is done by transporter.
Are we expected to go aboard the station, or is today coming aboard the ship?
Actually, probably no one's going to be coming aboard. Tanesa, you do receive a hail from the station again.
Incoming hail, Captain.
On screen.
On screen.
USS Dauntless, this is Admiral Tanae. You are to proceed to the II system. Reinforcements will be staged here at Starbase 39 Sierra, the Romulan Republic is also sending reinforcements to the Orith system. Captain, I do not need to tell you that this is very likely a trap. You cannot trust Romulans.
I'm standing right here.
Big
I
time.
trust Captain Santiago, ma'am.
I see. Nonetheless, be ready for unpleasant surprises.
Well, nothing ever goes as planned. Or actually, I take that back. No plan survives first contact with the enemy.
Indeed. In this circumstance, however, I will say good luck, and I hope that Dauntless will survive first contact with the enemy.
She usually does, Admiral.
Tene out.
What do I know about the system?
The iHi system is, as the captain pointed out earlier, a deep inside Romulan space.
But Star Empire, right?
Star Empire
Yeah.
space, not Romulan Republic space. Correct.
Yeah, it's about as deep into Romulan space as Romulus was. Just
Okay.
to the east. Galactic. Closer to the galactic rim.
It is home to a non-spacefaring race known as the Ahians.
Okay.
The system consists of one Class M planet with a Class D moon.
Is that where the Romulans have stationed themselves, or are they flotilla?
You don't know exactly where the Romulans are within the system. It's still several light years out.
Okay. Is Sela still in charge of the Empire?
No, Seal is in Federation custody by this point.
Okay. Who's ruling the Empire at this point?
That's a good question. It's a power vacuum.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Always fun.
There are a number of Romulan Imperial Navy imperators who have kind of set up their own smaller regimes, basically, or who are maintaining power in the name of the Empire. There is probably also some Tal Shiar presence, although that is much lower than it was even 3 years ago.
I'm just gonna give Bianca that sideways look. And also Shanna that look like this is this is fucked, right? This is completely fucked.
And Bianca's gonna be like, senior staff to the briefing room, please.
All right, now let's throw that conference room up. Which, Naomi, the conference room turns out to be the lower deck of the bridge. Just to kind of accentuate once again, to emphasize how large this bridge is. It encompasses 2 decks. Or a deck and a half.
So
transport.
yeah. So Bianca's going to begin, and she's going to say, everyone welcome our new science officer, Ensign Naomi Kadir. She will be joining us on this mission, and I apologize, Ensign. It's going to be a bit like jumping into the deep end. And with that, Bianca takes, kind of does the pinch and throw gesture from her pad up to the holographic display, and it's a map. Can you throw the map up?
I sure can. Give me one moment. I made this handout 10 minutes ago.
So she points to the iHi system, which is pretty well within Romulan Imperial space.
Toward the top center.
In the
Ooh,
top
Lord.
center.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there it is. I see it.
She
Nice.
said, this is actually a gambit. Imperator Selvin, who was one of the chiefs of staff of the Romulan Imperial Navy, is planning to defect to the Romulan Republic. She recently met in secret in the Nimbus system, right?
Yes.
Met in secret in the Nimbus system with the USS Shroud and expressed this wish to Captain Varric Santiago. And he left voluntarily with her on his shuttle in order to stage this entire operation. Now, unless she has the smallest fleet of all the Imperators that are still in power in the Romulan Empire. So in order to get all of her people out, this has to look legitimate. So the plan is to rendezvous with Selvin's fleet and flagship in the I-High system. And then have them engage us and knock our quantum slipstream drive offline. And from there, they will pursue us as we head towards the Federation border in the Rator sector, in the Rator system. Meanwhile, reinforcements will be dispatched from here, Starbase 39 Sierra, which is on the left side of the map.
Yep, center left.
And the Romulan Republic fleet will move to intercept from the Orith system, which is down there at the bottom center.
And I had said Galorndon Core last week. I was wrong. Galorndon Core is on the wrong side of Romulan Republic space.
And that's where, and then once we cross the border into the Rator sector, the Romulan Republic fleet will take custody of Imperator Selvin's fleet, and they will be brought back to New Romulus. And supposedly, if this plan goes off without a hitch, we get some scrapes and bruises, and hopefully nothing bad happens. Starfleet Admiralty thinks this is a trap. However, I have been assured of Selvin's motives by Captain Santiago. To make things look more interesting, Selvin also has ships in the Re system which will attempt to cut us off as we head to the Rator system. But once they come at us from the Re system, we will swing our course from the Rator system towards the Orith system, which will allow the Romulan Republic fleet. Would Admiral Jirok be in command of that?
Captain Jirok, and probably so,
Captain
yes.
Jirok. Commander Jirok. And
Yes.
Commander Jirok's forces will take it from there and escort Selvin's full fleet back to New Romulus. This will definitely weaken the Empire and further bolster the Romulan Republic's forces. I do have some of the stats on Admiral Selvin's command ship. She has been for the past decade or so operating a heavily modified and very large Dideridex type warbird.
Did you just
Jonas.
say Lorge?
I didn't mean to say Lorge, but it kind of came out that way.
Okay, sorry. Carry on.
Jonas lets out a low whistle.
And she kind of throws the schematic of the ship up, and What scale did you say it was compared to Dauntless?
It's
Dawn?
it's about half again the size of the Dauntless. It is
Yeah.
larger than a scimitar class warbird.
So the ship is about. So the ship is even. We're used to being the large fish in the pond. This one's even bigger. However, she's slower, as most Romulan ships are, because they're equipped with a quantum singularity drive. So she shouldn't be able to quite catch up with us, but she'll maintain pace.
Captain, question.
Yes, Commander.
Have you had contact with Captain Varric? Or what assurances do you have that this isn't the trap that the Admiralty thinks it is?
He contacted me after he was taken aboard Selvin's flagship.
That sounds like a trap.
The reason why that Selvin met him in the Nimbus system in secret anyway was not to announce her intention to defect, but to return Captain Santiago's mother, who had been brainwashed by the Tal Shiar for the past 70 years.
Hmm.
This woman has no love for the Tal Shiar.
Jonas looked like he was about to comment, and then he has no more comment.
But according to Varric, she has some trust issues when it comes to the Federation. So she's been reluctant until now to ask for help to defect to the Republic.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, we did leave 900 million of their people to die.
But the introduction of a family member into this equation makes it more complicated and more likely to be a trap.
Captain Santiago's many things. A poor judge of character is not one of them.
Everyone can be vulnerable when it comes to family.
This is true. But
Captain,
yes.
if you trust what Captain Santiago says, then I'm all for this mission. Are we sure that the Romulan Star Empire isn't aware of what this person's trying to do?
Leaks are certainly a possibility, especially since Selvin has over 24 ships. Any one of them could be potentially a leak, but
And we're just supposed to lead them on a merry chase?
like I said, the Federation left the Romulans high and dry long time ago.
I'm not disagreeing with that, Captain. The Federation has a lot of stuff to make up for to several different species. What I mean is, we have to make this look good, yes? How good do you want this to look? Is what I'm getting at.
As good as it can.
Okay.
If the Star Empire gets involved outside of this Imperator, we're going to run into problems. We should be prepared in that inevitability.
Yeah, that's why we've been instructed to move quickly. Because the longer we wait, the more likely it is someone is going to find out about this little operation.
As if on cue, you get a hailing, incoming message.
I'm going to put it through so the whole staff can hear it.
Okay. Visual?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. And you see Imperator Katira Selvin. Let me see if I can. I should have. Yes. So her hair is a dark blonde, slightly darker than Sela's was.
No, it's
no?
platinum.
Platinum, thank you.
Yeah.
Please, yeah, please. You, this is your brainchild, so correct me as you need me to. Wearing an Imperial Romulan uniform with blue shoulders and a blue collar area. She looks stern, and by her side, as the camera pans out, you see Captain Varric Santiago, and he looks a little worse for wear. Dauntless, I see you.
I'm sure you do, Imperator.
Let me be clear. You and your fancy quantum slipstream drive owe me an appointment. I estimate, given your ship's capabilities, you can be at the I-High system in approximately 1 minute, 42 seconds. But I will be generous and give you 2 minutes before I kill your fiancé. And she just lashes out with her disruptor pistol and pistol whips Varric across the side of his face.
Oh, okay.
Jonas makes a
do I have
fist.
to make a gut check or anything, or a composure check or anything?
Would you like to?
It's up to you.
All right, sure, let's do this. Because you weren't I am going to say that you weren't quite expecting this show of violence. So,
Okay.
let's make it difficulty 2. Once again, control command. And composure focus will apply here.
Okay. I'm gonna buy a die just for
Okay.
caution.
While that's happening, can I do a check to see if his wounds are cosmetic or if they're actual? If it seems like, they're making it seem like it's worse than it is.
Yes, I'll have you give me a roll as well. It'll be reason medicine. Difficulty 1.
Can I just telepathically see do a check-in?
Yes.
Not talk to him, but kind of skim okay, what's going on.
You can. Let's have Dathli make her roll. Their roll? Her roll? Okay, gain 1 momentum. Dathli, those bruises look real.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not going to say anything right now.
And Bianca, you get the mental check-in with Varric. He's in a fair bit of pain, but nothing's broken. You get the feeling that he knows this is for effect as well.
Right. Okay.
And while that that shot to the face, that pistol whip would have broken a human's jaw, he is Vulcan. And you get the sense from Katira that she knows this too. She has to make it real for the sake of her crew who are not in on this operation.
and anyone who could be piggybacking on the signal.
And Bianca says, I guess we'll see you soon.
1 minute 56 seconds, Dauntless. And the signal ends.
Captain, permission to return to my station.
Hop to it.
And I don't need in 1 minute and 56 seconds.
Set a course.
Run, go.
I know I don't need to tell you to set a course for the iHigh system either.
I
Give me
already
those
put it
extra seconds, though, Jonas.
The captain, the destination's been input. I just haven't gone there yet.
Okay, so Jonas, this is going to be a difficulty 2 roll. Your additional successes will cut time off of the Dauntless's travel time. Anything
Okay.
above 2.
Can
So
I?
it's- Can you what?
I'll wait till you're. I'll wait till Jonas rolls, and then I have a question.
Okay. So it'll be control con and then structure con for the Dauntless if someone will roll for the ship. So Naomi, in situations where someone is using the ship, like the ship is part of the scene or part of the action, it also gets to be part of the roll. So for sensor rolls for like firing phasers or torpedoes, I'll tell the player what they need to roll as a character, and then I'll also say this is what the ship needs to roll.
Okay.
I would like to grab an extra dice using momentum for cautious con.
Okay, you got it.
3. Calm operations, focus ship flight.
Yep.
Control con. And okay, here we go. Rolling.
4 successes. Okay. So the Imperator
ship.
said you could do it in 1 minute 42, Jonas, but you know you can do it in a minute flat. Maybe even a little under.
Anybody want to roll the ship?
Anyone but Kate, who has sworn off rolling for the ship ever.
Yes,
I'll
I
roll.
always roll badly when I roll for the ship.
I can do it.
Just
If
rolling.
no
You
one
can
else.
try.
Yeah. Yeah, Naomi, if you want to do it, go ahead.
Okay.
You'll have to tell me what to do, though.
Okay, so under player ships, you'll see the USS Dauntless. On its character sheet...
How
So-
do I get to ships? That's how, like,
it's the third tab on the top right where it says journal.
Second tab.
It's the second one. It looks like a little notebook.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh. It's the third for me because I'm the
And then
GM.
I click the ship, right?
Under player ships, you'll see USS Dauntless, right?
Okay.
So select the character sheet,
Okay.
and then click structure, and then click con. The starship always rolls 1 die for its task, so just hit the Federation logo next to starship task roll.
I'm gonna find it. Sorry. Starship. Just the Starship task roll, and then just click 1.
Click 1, and then click the Starfleet logo. Okay, so 1 success from the Dauntless.
Yay!
So
So
let's see, you're all
Well
good.
rolled, yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Nicole's first roll of the game, everyone.
Applause. Applause.
We're going into the lion's den with full up momentum. It's gonna be fine. y'all.
Mm.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Whatever.
so Dathli, what was your question?
While we're on route, can I like sort of think at Bianca and like thinking at her to like get her attention, loop her into a or like let her listen into a potential like if this is fucked, bring a cube
If
to
this
the
is
universe. Like I'm what is his name? Why can I not remember his name?
Oh.
So-
Tyrannus.
Tyrannus, yes. So I basically want to like to be like, hey bud, we might need backup in this situation. You and interested.
So, Bianca, you will definitely pick up on that. And Naomi, because Dahli is basically broadcasting this thought out there, you're hearing it too.
I was gonna ask if I was also hearing this.
Naomi's gonna be like, "The fuck you said?"
So the chief medical officer is basically reaching out to a board Unimatrix for assistance.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Naomi, our ship's a
And without consulting the chief of security, cool.
Fine.
I feel like I'm so new. I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm not saying anything.
Yeah,
Just
I
staying
don't blame
quiet.
you
I'm
there.
like, ugh. I'm not
Like,
gonna say anything about this
And just kind of like nonchalantly, Bianca's going to be like, Doctor, we could have Unimatrix 652 standing by as a backup option.
Like I said, if the inevitable happens.
The inevitable happens.
You should have seen Varric when he got roughed up by General Katang during the Klingon War.
I have no doubt in Captain Varric's abilities. However, once a Romulan, always a Romulan in some senses.
So, Dahli, I'm going to spend 2 threat, and I'm going to negate that possibility.
Fuck.
But I am going to do it as a threat expenditure. Because normally I might consider allowing it. Given the threat spend, I am going to say that Unimatrix 652 is too far away for you to establish a signal.
That's fair. Or they're busy. Like they are kind of low on like resources.
On
right now,
everything,
so-
yeah.
But, I appreciate the try. But Bianca says, can I do a momentum spend to say that I've been doing research
What kind of research?
on Selvin, Imperator Selvin?
You can do that, or you can do it as a task. What are you interested in? Like,
I
do you just want to import player knowledge, basically?
Basically, yeah.
Then yeah, 2-point spend for momentum.
Okay.
Calm my paranoid ass down, please.
Bianca's be like, Imperator Selvin beseeched the Federation to assist them in the to assist the Empire in the evacuation of Romulus, and was a staunch supporter of Praetor Hiron's reform government before the Shinzong coup.
Oh, so would that be political, like public political knowledge? Not public, but like political knowledge that other me would have known?
Let's do an insight command roll for you. Difficulty 2?
Romulan history focus.
Yes.
Said insight command.
Yes.
Three successes.
Nicely done. Yes, this is something you would have known about.
And like Bianca saying that kind of like reminds me, and like you can sense the like, oh right, this is something that I remember hearing about, and it kind of like the
got
kind
lost
of
in the whole shuffle of temporal integration.
Yeah, exactly. It got shook loose. But yeah, you can sense the like calming down, and it's like, okay, maybe this won't be quite as bad as I think it is.
But you are right, we will have to worry about security leaks.
What is the saying? Walls have ears.
The hills have eyes. Yeah.
Yes.
The hills are alive with the sound of music? No, that's
It's hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Point at Shiana. Just that. So I
Which
guess
why that is not a value on Shiana's sheet, I do not know.
it could become one.
Oh, she was also a political opponent of Sila's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Anyone who
How
wants to
she
take
rose-
Sealand-
The only reason she rose to the rank that she has is because she is a Dominion War hero. Like, otherwise, she kind of would have gotten quashed down and probably disappeared by the Tal Shiar.
Yeah, if she's that kind of vocal, that does make sense, but... Okay, cool. Oh, good, we're getting a storm, so if I disappear, that's why.
Okay, well, hopefully you won't.
But yes, we arrived in the high system.
So yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna do this as a scene change. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to do before? Well, no, it's a fairly short slipstream jaunt, so let me make sure I've got everything on this map that I need.
I mean, just standard, we're about to go into combat protocols, OBS, you know.
So maybe yellow alert.
Yeah, yellow alert at least, shields at maximum. Everybody prepared for, you know.
Would it be
Shit to go
better
down.
for Jezza to go down to engineering or stay on the bridge for everyone? I don't know if it really
Engineering.
matters. Yeah.
Yeah, engineering.
So, Captain, permission to return to engineering?
I would definitely recommend it.
Please don't break my ship.
So Dauntless arrives in the iHigh system. You're picking up 2 Romulan Valdor class warbirds on sensors.
Just run a standard scan of the area.
Okay, Naomi, that is going to be your bailiwick. So let's have you pull up your character sheet and do a reason science roll. And I'm setting the base difficulty for this at 1 because of Dauntless's advanced sensors.
Okay, so is that I click 1 near task roll?
No, your task roll will generally be 2. The only exceptions are if you're doing an assist or if you spend momentum to buy extra dice.
Okay, it's just one of the 2 dice I roll have to be a success, right? If it's a difficulty 1.
Because it's difficulty 1, at least you have to get at least 1 success to have succeeded on the task.
Okay. Science and reason, right?
Yep. And your technical expertise will apply here, which means you can re-roll any of the d20s, including the ship's d20,
nice.
if you choose to do so.
Okay. So
The
I'll make
ship's
this-
rolling sensor science, right?
Correct. And also your
Okay.
computer's focus applies here, Naomi.
Okay.
So that means under where you're rolling your dice, make sure where it says focused used, click the word yes.
Okay. Oh, how do I? Oh, focused used and then yes. Okay. Right. Then
Mhm.
I will roll.
Okay, so 1 success, and
And then
Journey, if
ship.
you'll roll for the ship.
none from the ship.
Okay, so if you wanted to, you could have re-rolled one of those 2 dice just by hitting 1 on the taskbar and rolling. The good side of that is you may get another success, which would give you a momentum. It could also result in a complication, which is less likely, but could give me threat or allow me to twist the knife, so to speak.
Okay. So if I wanted to use my technical expertise, I could re-roll for the ship.
You could.
Okay. I have 1 success that I rolled. we would want the ship also to have a success. Is that correct?
Couldn't hurt.
It couldn't hurt. So I'll go ahead and
You're gonna re-roll.
Yep.
Let's do that.
Ooh.
And the ship gets a critical
Even
success.
Woo woo!
So, you all are once again full up on momentum. And given the fact that you got 3 successes on a base 1 roll, you are able to detect the presence of 3 additional Romulan ships, but you cannot pinpoint their location. They're under cloak.
Can we also do a tactical scan?
What would you be searching for that would be separate and distinct from the science scan?
Well, the science scan did just give us like additional ships, but maybe disposition of like weaponry or
Okay.
shields.
Yeah, let's do reason security for Shienna. And sensor security for the Dauntless. Again, the difficulty will be 1, presuming that you're scanning the Valdor class ships.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I've got the ship for whenever you're ready, Sheena.
Okay, there's the 1. Complication. Okay. The Imperial ships, the Valdor class ships are listed as the Imperial Romulan Warbird Algeron and IRW Talara. They are equipped with disruptor banks and plasma torpedoes.
Good. Tasty, tasty destructor fire.
And you're receiving a hail from the Algeron.
On screen.
Audio
On screen,
only.
yeah.
Putting it on now.
This is Captain Bianca West of the Federation Starship Dauntless.
And,
We are here as you wanted.
And the message that you got in return sounded garbled. I'm gonna spend 4 threat here.
Oh Lord.
Why?
And down in engineering, Jezza, shit starts going haywire. Systems, the lights go out, come back on again. Some of the engineering panels aren't responding, and the shield indicator status goes offline.
Oh no.
And that's when the entire ship gets rocked.
And Bianca just
And-
bites. Shields! Where are my shields? Red alert!
We're onto the bridge.
Go ahead.
There's
Captain, there are no shields.
so let me describe what happens, because sparks start to fly and the ship rocks like it's been hit by a thunderbolt. In a sense, it has, because from the Dauntless is 6 o'clock high, so behind the ship and above it, this massive Romulan Dederidex ship decloaks and opens fire with disruptor banks, hitting the Dauntless amidship,
Oh God.
right along its spine. Jezza, sparks start flying from the slipstream panels and from the slipstream apparatus. One of your crew members, your engineering crew, takes a fire extinguisher and goes toward it, and the part of it that he was running towards explodes in his face, and he just kind of crumples to the ground.
Thanks, I hate it.
on the bridge also takes a hit. And I would like everyone to make a fitness security check, difficulty 2.
Oh god.
Ooh, survival.
Clearly, my one. Well, no, actually.
Yes, I'll allow the survival focus here.
Oh, thank you. You are kind.
I guess composure doesn't apply.
No.
Citizen security.
Phew.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Fitness security, right?
Yes.
I don't have anything that would focus here, would I?
Let me look at your character sheet. No.
Oh, I accidentally had focus. I accidentally had focuses on. Hold on.
Oh god.
No, you rolled a natural 1, Jezza. You're good.
Am I okay? I had my focuses on, so I was like, wait, shit.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. I'm sorry, Jonas.
Hmm. So, for those of you who did not get 2 successes, you receive 4 points of stress damage as you are thrown away from your stations and out of your chairs. Several panels explode on the bridge, and the lights go out entirely. When the emergency
Status,
lighting,
Commander Ron.
Status is very bad.
so Ron, right now engineering is in shambles. People are trying to move injured personnel. That's kind of the first thing going on. You are personally trying to put out a fire. You've got emergency power only. Slipstream is completely offline. You'll have warp power in about 30 seconds if you're lucky. Some of the systems are still unresponsive.
Give me engines and give me warp drive now.
It's not gonna work right now. Everything is on fire. My crew.
I understand that, Commander. My crew is on fire. My ship is
Captain.
on fire. My bridge is on fire. This is what we signed up for.
Yes, Captain, but the warp core is not going to be okay until another at least 30 seconds, and we have no slipstream and nothing down.
That was the plan. No slipstream was the plan.
Captain, permission to return fire.
Player question though.
Yes.
Can we return fire and then get out of here, and then turn tail and start running?
So there would be 3 tasks involved with that.
Yeah, that was what I was afraid of.
But I will let you all do it. But the Imperator would have an action after your second one, because Shiena has can keep the initiative for free the first round of combat, which we are definitely in.
So the actions would be return fire,
and then maybe get the engines back up.
Get the engines up, and then before
moment?
we could actually turn tail and leave, the Imperator would have an action.
Correct.
Is it a momentum spend to keep the initiative, or do we just automatically
We
let
can't
it go?
keep it 3 times in a row.
Okay, alright, sorry.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no
all right.
worries.
She, Bianca goes, "Not yet. I need the engines up and I need us going."
So we want to do engines first?
Yes, engines first.
Lucky
Okay.
for us.
Can
Focus.
Koltesh assist
He can assist from the
Jezza?
bridge. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Koltesh would like to assist Jezza getting the engines back.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that this would probably be a damage control task, but let me look that up. And right now, just for your reference, Bianca, the bridge looks about like the bridge of the Enterprise during the Wrath of Khan, right after Reliant hit it.
Yeah.
And also, like, even though she's not firing, Shanna's definitely, like, calculating firing solutions for 180 high.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 4 stress damage. That's like half Jonas's life.
Ouch. Okay, so you can repair a single breach with the damage control task. Difficulty determined by the system chosen.
So I also have cautious engineering and maintenance specialist. I can't remember exactly how those would help, if they would help in this instance.
Okay. I am still looking for... Oh, repairing damage.
And thankfully, I definitely have a focus in.
I'm going to call it
cautious.
control engineering. And I'm going to set the difficulty at 2 to bring the engines back online.
Am I able to help her? Because I have a focus in power systems.
Um,
I'd be able to
I
assist.
would normally say that Koltesh would get the chance to do this, but Journey, I'll leave that up to you. Do you want Koltesh to assist, or would you rather have Naomi assist?
I am totally fine with Naomi's.
Okay. So Jezza, it's going to be control engineering, difficulty 2. Your power systems focus applies.
Okay.
And let me look up maintenance specialist for you here.
I don't think
Koltesh
it-
is currently
anyone.
helping an injured Jonas up off the floor.
Probably so, yes.
He
Is
did
this like
the.
sorry, is this like another character that you're talking about? Like
It's
like
a secondary character, yeah.
Okay, because I was like, who is
Oh.
this?
Koltesh
Oh,
is,
yeah,
is a
Koltesh.
Klingon.
Yeah, Koltesh is my Klingon engineer.
Oh, okay.
In some scenes, if you don't have your main character there to do anything, having a secondary character to keep you involved actually really helps to keep you inserted in the game.
Oh, like with like a different expertise than you, if like
Exactly,
your
yep.
expertise doesn't like fit in this scenario.
Exactly.
Yeah, unless you're the captain,
Okay,
because
so...
you're involved in everything.
Yeah, basically. Jezza, the maintenance specialist doesn't apply here. It applies to maintenance, and this is emergency
That's what I
repair.
figured. I just sure 100%.
Yep.
So let's see if this works.
Cautious engineering will totally apply, though. Okay, so that's one success.
Does the ship roll anything?
Yes, we'll have the ship roll structure engineering.
I'll roll the ship.
Go for
Okay.
it. It's already been picked out on structure engineering.
Okay, and Naomi, you'll be rolling control engineering as well, and you'll roll 1 die here.
And I would have a focus used because of power systems.
Yes. Okay, so you got the 2 successes.
3.
And 1 bonus momentum. Okay.
God.
So the warp course comes back online. It kind of sounds like a sick puppy at the moment, but it will give you the power that you need to get the hell out of here.
Set a course for the Retore sector. Best possible speed.
Jonas is just getting back in his chair with the Klingon's help, and he's like, "Aye, Captain."
Lucky I didn't roll even better for that stress damage.
Is
Some of y'all would have been
anyone,
unconscious.
is anyone on the bridge seriously injured, or is it just like
Not
bumps or
seriously. It's just stress damage.
Mm.
But in engineering, are there people that are like in need of medical attention?
There are casualties in engineering.
Captain permission to go to engineering?
Go where you're needed.
All right. What am I? Do I need to roll anything?
I'm definitely going to have you roll here.
Okay.
It will be control con for you, engines con for the Dauntless.
I will roll for the Dauntless right now.
Okay. Because Dauntless has taken a hit to its engines, I'm setting the base difficulty at 2.
Okay.
You'll also have to tell me how much power you're spending to go to warp.
Okay.
because the Romulan ships will have to spend that much power to keep up.
Okay,
Or you
just
said-
I'm
Is it engines con?
Engines con, yes. Is that right?
I'm just looking over my talents to see if anything would help me.
Oh, no worries.
I think the only thing I have is cautious con and glancing impact that'll help here.
Well, glancing impact only helps with evasive maneuvers.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going somewhere. I'm not going into evasive maneuvers to go somewhere.
Correct.
Okay.
Warp is a straight line.
Oh, that is okay.
Not try to do evasive maneuver warping. That sounds unpleasant.
Oh, we're okay.
Serpentine!
I'm sorry. I didn't hear the warping part. I thought we were. My brain is elsewhere. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. No, at the
All right,
moment,
I'm gonna grab
a momentum. You've got a
Yeah.
floating, so go ahead.
Yep. Okay. To do focus supplies, and cautious con. Go.
How much
4 successes. All right.
I don't know how much power because I don't normally have to say how much power.
Dauntless has 7 power available at the moment.
So,
I'm not
what
rolling for the
range?
ship
What
anymore.
range do we want to keep them at? Because I feel like we shouldn't keep them at long range where it's like super impossible for them to hit us. Because we want to keep up the whole like
Right.
this
I
is
would say
legit looking thing.
Say medium.
The good news is energy weapons are useless at warp.
Okay.
Well, that's good. So is that like two power medium to keep us at medium range?
Again, it's however much power you want to spend is basically a measure of how much energy Dauntless is using to get away and how much energy the Romulans have to use to keep up.
I would go. I'd say 3 is a safe number, maybe.
Okay, I'll mark it.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, if we need more energy, we can have our engineers do something about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can always try.
Also, I'm not rolling for the ship anymore.
Okay, so Dauntless comes about and jumps to warp.
Just as these ships are decloaking, right?
Just as 2 additional Delon class warbirds decloak.
Small boys.
Yes.
And then Katira's big warbird. Is that the one that was hitting us from behind?
Yes.
Crafty
Phrasing.
little bitch of mine. I'm sorry, you guys. I based this character around Grand Admiral Thrawn. So, you're welcome.
No, thank you.
All right, so there is going to be a complication because the Dauntless rolled it.
Sorry.
The complication is that the Dauntless immediately jumps to warp and makes it as far as the Talus system before the warp drive goes offline.
Ass.
Dang it.
And Jezza, there is still like the fires have been put out. Warp drive is like mostly operational, but there are still system failures that you can't explain with that disruptor hit alone, including the warp drive just shutting down. Like the Dauntless just dropped out of warp at the edge of the Talus system.
And Bianca's gonna call down to engineering again. I need my engines, Jezza!
I know, Captain. I don't know what happened. I'm trying.
Can Koltesh scan our systems, like the ship systems?
Yeah. Let's do reason engineering.
Okay.
I'm setting
I
the.
don't know if he has focuses that would apply here.
I'll set the difficulty here at 3 because of the complication.
Okay.
And let's see. Nope, wrong character sheet. Koltesh. Does he have a focus? No.
Okay. In that case, I would like to burn his daily.
Okay. What value are you calling upon?
I'm gonna go. I know my ship.
Okay, go
I have
for it.
that one too.
You have that. Yeah, that's right. She does.
Super do.
Actually, you have a no. That's a talent, not a value.
Oh, what? I thought that was a talent. No, sorry. I will not back down from a challenge.
That works.
And would the I know my ship talent come into play here? Because I don't know what it does.
You know what?
It's
It
not
might.
listed.
If so, I need to know because
Yes, whenever you attempt a task to determine the source of a technical problem with your ship, add a bonus d20.
Okay.
well, sounds like I'm gonna be using that next.
I think
Okay.
I think that's what Koltesh is doing from the bridge at the moment, though.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what's going on with their systems.
Well, Jezza like rapidly, like yells at people in engineering.
Juz is trying
Okay.
to get the warp engines back online.
A few people still standing.
No. Okay, so no focus. He has
It's
two
bad
immediate
timing.
successes.
Yep.
I would like to grab
And 3 dice.
an extra dice for cautious.
Okay.
So that's still 3 dice. Alright, and... Oh, no, wait, does that go up to 4 dice then, since I get an extra one?
Oh yeah, it would. You'd have to pay for
Okay.
it. You'd have to pay for it as a 4th die, though, so it'll take 2 momentum instead of 1.
Okay, that's completely fine.
Okay,
I just want the cautious in case things go bad.
that's fair.
Alright, and... What was the complication range? Just 1?
Normal complication range. I'd increase the difficulty.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll that natural 20.
Okay.
Okay, it's still a 2.
All right. So you are not
With
able with
He had
the
2
ship
successes.
with the ship in tatters and like there are arcs literally pouring onto Koltesh's head. You're just not able to determine the cause of the system failures.
Oh, wait, he has 4 successes.
That's right. I'm sorry because you spent the determination. Then never mind. Despite the sparks raining down over Koltesh's head, you notice what appears to be foreign code in the ship's system.
Captain!
What is it, Koltesh?
There's foreign code within our ship's systems.
Clever.
I believe we may have a bug.
And then she turns to Kadir and she goes, Ensign, can you get rid of that code?
You can try, Captain.
Okay, so this is going to be an extended task,
My assist with
Okay.
Giselle.
which I am going to need to set up.
Can I
Hi,
assist
Rigel.
I assist with Giselle, who has not existed on the show for like so long.
Hi,
Yeah,
Rigel.
Giselle can be floating around.
Sorry, y'all. My cat Rigel is like, hi, hi. Pay attention to me now, please. Hi.
Okay, because she has both EPS and computer focus.
Okay, great.
Hearing with Jessica because she's the assistant to the chief engineer.
I have an assistant.
You
No.
do. She just is rarely used because I forgot that I had a secondary character.
I have an assistant. I'm important for an assistant.
She's half Delton, half Vulcan. So she's got the pointy ears, but she's bald.
And her Ponfar is something else. No,
When you have both Kolinar and Delton empathy, what the fuck is happening?
Right?
what
Okay,
even
so
is this?
we're going to have a few things going on here. First and foremost, probably most urgent, is Jezza trying to get the engines back online. That's going to be control engineering, difficulty 1.
Okay.
and I'm not
Um,
allowing the Dauntless to assist here.
Because
Okay.
Dauntless is like,
but I still have the focus because I'm still using that.
Mm-hmm. And you still have cautious.
And that gives me an extra die, right?
No, cautious gives you a reroll if you spend a die
Reroll,
for
gotcha.
or if you spend momentum to buy an extra die.
The one that gives you an extra die is I know my ship.
And that's not applying here because you're just fixing a system.
Gotcha. Okay.
but you can always just spend the momentum to make the momentum.
Yeah, well, so if I do that, I'm rolling 2, right?
If you do that, you roll 3. If you
Oh,
spend a
shit.
momentum, you
Yeah,
get an extra
2.
die.
2 is the default.
Gotcha. Every once in a while I forget because it's very rare that I have to roll.
It's true. It's not very often that Dauntless breaks.
Okay, so I will go ahead and spend the momentum and
Okay, 3 successes. So warp engines are back online, and just in the nick of time because the the Romulan ships are about to intercept.
Bianca just goes, go, 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 go!
Yeah, I am not Journey. I'm not going to make you roll again. Dauntless is just going to start moving.
Yep.
Now, Naomi, let's have you make your first roll on this extended task. So it's going to be control science. Actually, let's make it insight science. Because you're going to have to try and think ahead of this thing. The difficulty is 2.
And my focus in computers applies,
Your
correct?
focus in computers applies, and your technical expertise talent applies.
Okay.
And what is Tassel rolling for an assist?
Tassel will be rolling insight science as well.
And also computers focus.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, 4 successes. So y'all get 2 momentum.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how this applies, but I do have intense scrutiny. When you succeeded a task using reason, or oh no, I didn't use reason or control. Never mind then.
No worries.
It's
And then
alright.
it's
Figuring out
worries.
how the talents works is always like, I'm always like, oh yeah, I have a talent. How does
Yep.
it work again?
I heard extended task, and I was like, I have a thing for this, but it's only if I use reason or control.
Which are the 2 things you normally use a lot of as a science officer. It's just for this specific extended task, it's not so helpful.
Me.
Okay, so
I
the
have-
next thing you'll do is...
Oh, never mind. It doesn't.
Let's see, your science discipline is 6, or 4 rather. So you'll see near the challenge dice, it has 6 and the Starfleet logo. Go ahead and click the Starfleet logo there. Do you all want to reduce the resistance of this extended task before she rolls?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you might.
I have no idea what that means, though.
That means normally you would make this roll, and you can make it when you're ready. Normally, I would subtract 2 from the number of dice, from the number you're about to roll here. What that momentum spend does is it means I won't subtract anything from this roll.
Okay.
And oh, never mind. It worked.
And it's the challenge
Ooh.
dice, which is the lower Starfleet icon, not the task roll. There we go. Okay. 3, 4, 5. 5 is what is called a breakthrough.
And we got 3 effects, but I don't think. Anything that affects
I don't know what the effects would do in this situation, actually. I think they would just count as 1.
I think if you have some talents, like if you roll an effect,
Some talents, they do. But so what happens here is the work track goes down by 5 because you rolled basically 5. You rolled 5 on your challenge dice. So the work track is half done, and because you rolled 5, it also reduces the magnitude, which is basically the difficulty of the extended task itself by 1. It's kind of like scoring an injury on the task, if that makes sense. You attacked
Yeah.
the task, you did 5 damage, and you scored an injury on it.
Oh.
All right, so Dauntless's engines are back up and running. You started to partition this code off into harmless parts of the computer core. Dauntless is near the rock hole system, and Bianca, you're not at all surprised to see additional ships in the Re system drop their cloak and set intercept courses.
This is where the fun begins.
You mean we weren't having fun yet?
You weren't having fun? I've been having so much fun.
I've been having fun. I mean, why were you saying that the fun only is starting now?
Yeah, that is
Dolly treating burn victims. This is not fun.
And Bianca goes, Jonas, readjust our course to the Orth system.
Aye, Captain. Or a system. That'll take us through the Vindor system before we get there. Or at least near it.
We should fly right past it.
Let's hope they don't have any cloaked ships there.
Well, according to my intelligence, they're not supposed to, but
Oh, these
actually
Romulans-
things are going according to plan, except for this, delightful little computer bug they've given us.
Oh, the Romulans are lucky I trust you, Captain.
Working on the bug, Captain.
Progress?
I've been able to partition off sequences of the bug, so I'm getting close.
Good. Keep on it.
All right, so on that note, Nicole, let's have you make your insight science roll again. Same difficulty as before, so still difficulty 2. No successes on this one. Okay.
The dice are a cruel mistress.
They are.
Sometimes. The shields are offline again. And Shienna, you're picking up another group of Romulan warbirds.
From where?
From the Kazan cluster. On an intercept course.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Starfleet knows we're in trouble, right?
Yes, they do. And they've got ships on their way to
We're-
intercept, but
We're about to be surrounded, Captain.
Oh,
Not if I have anything to say about it.
this is fun.
The most fun.
Jezza, can we get our shields back up?
can certainly try.
okay, so that'll be control engineering once again. Difficulty here is going to be 1. At this point, you're just like kind of putting fires as they crop up.
Okay. Do you want me to just go ahead and use a momentum again?
Yeah.
Go
It's
for it.
there. It's there.
I was like, I might as well, but I'm gonna ask
Like,
first.
please?
So, go! Jesus!
And Reza just blows the cap off the momentum.
And,
we- If we have any extra, could we create an advantage for our shielding system that they don't fall again because of the virus?
or we can create an advantage that gives Naomi an advantage the next roll or something.
I mean, Naomi could use the advantage for her next roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that one's
Or
good.
just use the floating momentum, rather. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Shields are back online with gusto. At this point, Jezza, the system interruptions are more annoying than anything else, but you're really hoping the warp drive doesn't go out again.
Although, could we create an advantage to boost our speed a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can just spend power to do that, can't we?
But if you want to spend 2 momentum, I'll let you do a little bit of a speed boost without a power expenditure, because Dauntless's power is not looking so great right now.
Yeah, we've got enough momentum. I think we can do that.
Okay. I'll take that out of the floating pool, and I'm going to take a quick break because I've drank a lot of water. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, I should
That's
get
fine.
some extra water because I haven't had mine full in a second. And a hot second.
We're surrounded by Romulans. This is fine.
Everything's awful.
I have a question. The floating, that's like extra momentum, right? Like that's
Yeah.
overflow momentum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's overflow momentum, but it's like you have to spend it within the like turn sequence. So like it just can't.
Yeah,
It-
it's not going to
it's
carry
not
over into another scene or into another episode.
Okay. I should just kind of use it in the moment.
Yeah.
Welcome to the game.
Yeah, so you should definitely take all of that for your next.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys. Is it okay if I take one again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're mostly momentum pushers around here, where we're like, take the momentum, take it.
Like I remember when the game first started, like people kind of forgot it existed, so I became like the momentum pusher. Like I was like
Just
So
handing it out.
I was
The
just like
dealer.
I was
Here,
like,
take some momentum.
Hey, use the momentum. Use it. Like I was like the dude with the jacket that's like, hey, you want to use some momentum? You know, like
Open your trench coat.
yeah, pretty much. Like
Got some of that premium momentum.
that's some of that momentum for you. Yeah, Kate can attest. But it is generally etiquette to be like, can I take this? And then usually the answer is yes, please take it. Usually the
Unless
only
it's
time
like the last point of momentum.
it's like the last point, or like you need to take 3 for something, you know, to
Yeah, then maybe we need to discuss it, right?
yeah, like if it's just 1, usually like we're like take it.
I will definitely take an extra die for my next
Hello, buddy.
bug in the butt.
And that would be a good idea, especially since we're trying to get all this shit done.
Yep.
Hmm.
Buddy.
Extra dice means extra goodies.
I will say, just as a point here, that these 2 groups of ships are not necessarily representative.
What? What does that mean?
That means there may be more ships traveling under cloak.
Oh, excuse you, buddy.
Oh, did
Sneezy.
Buddy sneeze?
Yeah, I think he's allergic to humans because whenever he settles into my lap, he sneezes on me.
Oh, poor Buddy. It's
Same
possible.
But yeah, no, I know what Selvin's fleet composition is, and I know
Mhm.
this ain't all of it.
Yep. There's a good chance that there's either more to be revealed, or she's not showing all her hand.
She's
all her
definitely
cards.
not showing.
So, Nicole, let's have you take another swing at this virus.
Okay, and I am gonna use a momentum so I can get another die.
Okay. So you'll be rolling 3 dice instead of 2.
Okay. This same stuff kind of applies.
Let me look up untapped potential really quick, because she does have that as well.
I have that as well, and it's basically if you roll, if you take a momentum, you can choose to roll a challenge dice, and if you roll an effect, then you get an extra momentum, and if you roll no effect, I think you give a threat.
Okay. So that's a completely optional thing that you can do.
Okay, and that's just to be ultimately to get like an extra like die.
You can gain momentum by using it, basically.
Oh, okay.
But y'all are
Okay,
still
we have
maxed
some
right
die.
now, so I would recommend not doing it here.
Okay. Then am I
Yeah.
still using insight science for this roll?
Using Insight Science.
All right, and I will roll 3 dice.
Yep. 3 successes.
Woohoo!
Okay, so now
Is Giselle assisting too?
what's that?
Is
That's a good
Giselle-
question. Yeah. Giselle, are you assisting? All right. So I'm going to presume y'all want to spend one of that floating momentum to knock out the resistance.
Yes, please.
And Nicole, if you'll roll the challenge dice again. Okay, so 3 points there. One thing you can do is you can also spend momentum to re-roll any number of those dice. So if you wanted to re-roll the 3 that didn't give you a result, you could do that here.
Yes, do.
You would just change the 6 to a 3 before you rolled.
Okay, and that would just be spending 1 momentum?
Mm-hmm.
And I just put 3 in there instead and then roll?
So hit 3, and then hit enter, and then roll.
Okay, and then...
Also, I got it backwards if you roll.
Yeah!
Okay.
4, 5. Okay, so 5 comes off the work track, and because you scored 5 successes, you also lowered the magnitude to 0, which means that the extended task is complete. You have fully contained this virus.
Yay!
And Jezza, you can actually get back to work restoring systems now instead of playing catch up with this stupid virus.
Oh, that virus is going to be picked apart later. Koltesh
your
wants to look at that.
I also can look at that, and I'm going. How dare you touch my shit?
Hey, I don't think this is the first time we've done cyber warfare.
It's the first time y'all have been on the business end of cybernetic warfare. Yolan was all about that
I was
shit.
gonna say, Yolan was the king of cyber warfare. That's how
Yeah,
we-
did y'all not remember Will and Yolan?
Half of them weren't
That
here
was
for
a
it.
thing.
Half of them weren't here for Yolan.
I was
Yolan-
not here for that.
Yolan.
Nicole knows Will though. Like,
You know Will.
Danny's Will. He was our science officer at the beginning, and he was all about that.
Sounds like something he would do.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
I mean-
even programmed a VI for our phasers. So like if we hit something with our phasers, it has like good targeting, so it automatically causes a breach, which is insane.
And
Yeah.
he Borg bombed the ship.
Yes, he did Borg
When
bomb.
I tried to assimilate it, I got like
You got
tased.
Borg bombed. It was funny.
Okay. So y'all are past the vendor system. Approaching the edge of Imperial Romulan space. And I'm going to spend an additional 2 threat.
Yay.
Jonas starts feeling a drag on the ship that increases to the point where the ship is dragged out of warp altogether.
The moment we come out of warp, I would like to go into evasive maneuvers.
Give me a control con roll. Difficulty is 4.
Okay, control.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I
Can
would
I
like.
assist?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to. I'm gonna go ahead and burn my daily for this.
Okay.
The faster I fly. No, I'm gonna use my new one. With
Okay.
the Prophets and Starfleet, I stand through anything.
Oh, I like that.
Alright, so that's 2 auto successes.
Yes.
Evasive actions focus will come into play.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use a momentum for Cautious Con to get an extra dice.
Okay.
And roll. That's 5 successes from me, 6 successes. And the
Okay.
ship needs to roll 2, maybe?
Someone else roll for the ship.
Y'all are running out of people to roll for the ship. I'm just saying.
I can do it.
Go for it. What's the ship roll?
Ship is going to roll engines con.
All of us are just scared because we've been rolling like garbage.
Fair.
The ship has focus on.
The ship always rolls with a focus.
Okay, I just Was making sure because I've never
Yep.
rolled for this.
No worries.
That's totally fine.
Whee!
Yeah, 6 successes.
All right.
Oh wait, that's 7 successes.
7 successes.
Nicely done.
And amazing.
So
I'm a really good pilot, y'all.
you come out of warp, Jonas, to realize that the Dauntless is in the middle of a field of tractor beam mines.
Oh my god!
Fuck!
Why?
And I'm actually going to have you've managed to evade the group of mines that have first gripped the Dauntless, flying in an evasive pattern. I'm going to spend a threat.
Of course you are.
I'm going to say that the target number here is 13. They're just mines and not that great. 2, 3 successes, however. Journey. What basically happens is you evade the first group of mines, only to fly further into the group of the further into the minefield, and caught again.
Is it possible with these mines to try and use them as a like a slingshot?
Possibly. But
I would like to try and do that if possible.
You're going to be interrupted.
That's totally fine.
As another ship appears on the tactical display.
Right on top of us.
Right on top of you.
We have shields at least.
You at least have shields, yes.
Yeah.
And you're being hailed.
On screen.
On-screen captain.
It's a male Romulan, and Bianca, you don't recognize him. But he is wearing a distinctly, same Romulan Imperial uniform, but his is black.
Oh.
Does that have a significance?
Do you want to take a guess?
Tel Shiar?
Yeah. Captain West. I'm Commander Mayak. The IR... I have a name for his ship. Hang on. Oh, I don't have a name for his ship. Hang on. Son of a bitch.
I named all of Selvin's ships.
This is
and
not
you
one of
can't-
Selvin's ships.
I know. I said I named all of them, and you couldn't come up with a name for one ship.
Listen. Listen here, you little shit. No, I'm kidding.
I think technically I'm the only little shit here.
I don't know. How tall is Naomi?
Oh, I never picked a height for her. No. Just like it's an average height for a good woman.
I don't
Oh.
know.
5'6",
5'6".
5'7"?
I would say 5'6".
I'm
Yeah,
still
so
the
Jessa is
smallest.
the small. Jessa is the small.
I'm also
Okay.
small in real life.
But
And ambitious.
Got it.
is this message broadcast across the ship, or is it just on the bridge?
Just the bridge.
Okay, so I don't see it.
So, hey, at least I came up with a name for the character this time.
Yeah?
I'm Commander Mayak of the IRW Divin. Stand your ship down. Prepare to be boarded.
Oh no!
And what do I get telepathically from this
Smug.
guy? Smug. Yeah, right, because that works. And Bianca goes, "No, I don't think I will," and cuts off the channel. And then she I want to use the floating momentum to do something, like maybe with the main deflector to try and break free of this minefield, maybe.
Okay,
I
what do you
don't
have in
know.
mind?
Or help with Jonas's plan.
What is
Actually-
Jonas's plan?
Jonas was wondering if it is possible to use these. Actually, he can also incorporate the deflector idea. If they can find the frequency of the tractor beams and use them to bounce off the deflector dish and sort of create a field around them that will push them and then speed them through the rest of the minefield.
Like reversing the polarity of the ship's tractor beams.
Yes, he wants it to, instead of yanking them, to shove them.
You want
like
to
a
you want to switch them from yoink to yeet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I have a spotlight I saved, so I would, if I need to do another daily, I will do it.
Okay, so that is one possibility. Another thing that might work, and Naomi, this is going to pop into your head is, it's not done much anymore, but polarizing the Dauntless's hull plating may give it a better resistance against the tractor beam mines.
It's a polarizing.
Yeah.
Polarizing the hull plating.
Yeah. So we could also, Captain, polarize the hub plating. Hopefully, get us out of this minefield.
All right. I want you to do that voodoo that you do. I didn't actually say that.
You do?
That was a player thing.
You do.
No,
do
I'm
what?
just-
Remind me of the
That
babe.
voodoo that you do. So
Bianca
well.
is going to say, yes, absolutely do that. And then who would be best to pull off the other thing, the main role?
Jonas.
Jonas.
Without a doubt.
Okay. All right.
Well, okay, so Jonas, I take that back. The main role would be Jonas doing his piloting thing.
Okay.
The polarizing the hull plating and reversing the polarity of the tractor beams. Wow, I sound like such a nerd and I love it. Would probably be either an engineering or a science task.
All right, Ensign. You ready to do more?
Ready.
All right. Let's do it, people.
Okay, so Naomi, let's have you roll first. This is going to be control science. Difficulty is going to be 1. This is actually a fairly easy thing to do in terms of reversing the tractor beam polarity. Wesley Crusher did it the first time, and like
I'm thinking I'm maybe just a little bit of a better or more
Everyone
prepared
shits on
ensign.
Wesley, but I love him.
he
Wesley
got
is a
so much
good
crap,
bean.
and he really is a good bean.
He's a good bean,
He's just doing
Not
his
very
best.
agile. This baby.
right?
Do any of my focuses apply this?
I would say your EPS systems focus would apply here.
Okay. I thought that would apply. Okay.
Yeah, Naomi's very well rounded, and also very green, but very well rounded. Okay, there's 2 successes. If y'all want to roll for the ship, it would be,
I can.
I'll say computers science.
Computers, science.
Can we create an advantage where we just kind of like slip right on by Mr. Asshole's Warbird and whoever else he has? He has cloaked with him.
I mean, you won't be able to go to warp while you're in the minefield.
Well, no, but I mean like slip past them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
all of them. Like,
I think that depends on my role.
I think
Yeah.
it is going to depend on the roll, but the tractor beam polarity is reversed.
right. I'm just saying I don't want him to like be moving to intercept or be like, "Ha! Surprise! There's another warbird right fucking there." You know what I mean? Like,
Right, kind of nullifying any threat any advantage I might try to create, like, ahead of
Right.
things. Yeah, that's fine.
right.
Right. So, Jonas, it is your ball game now.
Mhm.
I'm going to set the difficulty here at 3.
Okay.
I would have set it at 4, but you've got an advantage from the reverse polarity tractor beams, the
I'm
tractor beam
going to
repulsors.
assist with my direct task,
Mm-hmm.
and that kicks in my advisor talent so we can re-roll shit.
Nice.
So
Is this going to be control con?
Yes, control con, engines con for Dauntless.
Okay, I'm going to grab a momentum for an extra dice and cautious con.
Okay.
is this a presence command?
Let me look up advisor.
Or just the direct task?
Um,
Or
Just
the
for my
direct
own-
assist? Yeah.
for my own dumb brain, on this map, once we cross into the Rator sector, are we like basically home?
Once you cross into the Rator sector, you are no longer in Imperial Romulan space. You'll be in
Got it,
Federation
yeah.
space at that point.
Right. But the
Okay.
point is also to get Selvin ships there too. So they might have to fight through. They might have to fight through Mr. Asshole, but they also
Yeah.
have a bigger ship. So
And way more of them.
yeah. Plus, this is like nobody else knows this. Your characters don't know this. There's 3 other Dederadex class warbirds with Selvin's fleet. So
That's fun.
So I'll say presence command for this, Bianca. It is one of your stronger tasks, as I recall, or stronger attributes. So.
yeah.
The complication range is still 1, right?
Let's make it 2. I'm spending a threat.
Okay.
Boom, bitch.
And 2,
Bianca gives orders very well.
5.
5, and then the ship is rolling what? Because I'll roll it.
Engines con.
Engines, con, roll.
All right. Nicely
6.
done, y'all. Very nicely done.
Jonas is a very good pilot.
So here's what happens. You start basically piloting the Dauntless through the thinnest spot that you can plot in this minefield, and Dauntless's tractor beams start to reach out and push everything away from it, including the tractor beam mines as they decloak, and including the Dederadex, which gets shoved out of the way as Dauntless pushes through.
Bianca's like, no, I don't think I'll be preparing to be boarded today. No.
The Dederadex
Fuck you.
is going to come about and open fire, however.
We have shields again.
Do we also still have my evasive maneuvers from before?
You do not.
Dang it! Okay, that's fine.
Do we have shields, by the way?
We do.
We do.
I remember those went down like real quick.
Well, yeah. Jezza fixed it, and Naomi made sure the virus wouldn't do that again.
Fair
All
enough.
right.
Also, this is not Selvin's warbird. Selvin's warbird is
Yeah.
it's scary.
I am setting the
What does my quick to action talent get me? Is it just in like
quick to action. Let's
personal
keep the
combat?
momentum in the first round of combat. Can be personal, can be starship. Any combat
means
where
we
you're
go twice.
part of the scene.
It means we go twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do that now?
Seems like a good time to
Take
advantage
2
of
rounds
it.
against this dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm-
they're like Shiana's like, they're powering up disruptors, and Bianca's like, transphasic torpedoes, full spread.
Aye, Captain.
Oh, I forgot we had those.
That is okay. So a couple of things. Did I change those on the Dauntless's sheet already?
Isn't that an escalation?
No. Okay. So there's still quantum for the time being until you can get them swapped out.
I thought we did that at our space dock.
Quantum is still fine. I'm good with it. Torpedoes, full
because
spread.
because there's a standing order that's going to come with the transphasic torpedoes that I haven't had a chance to brief you all on or implement yet.
Oh.
But quantums will work.
Quantums are still nasty.
Quantum torpedoes are still nasty.
Especially from us.
So full spread, I'm going to award myself 2 threat.
Never forget when I rolled the first session when Kate wasn't here, and I rolled like all effects on the clone.
Yes. Well, wasn't that when Will was on the Zenkethi cruiser and we
Yeah.
basically blew it up out from under him with 1 torpedo salvo?
Yep. Second session.
Yep.
I
That's
mean,
literally exactly what happened.
2 sessions ago when you dropped the shields on a Borg cube with a torpedo salvo? Let's not forget
And
that.
the Borg cube was like flickering like
This system has encountered a fatal error and will now close.
blue screen, blue screen.
Okay, so it will be control security. The difficulty is 2. Weapons security for Dauntless.
I got Dauntless.
Take the floating momentum. Or not.
She
that
doesn't need
works.
it.
Yeah.
Sienna's mad, y'all. Yeah,
Sienna
she's
is,
like,
like,
you
firing
fuckers
it.
interrupted
Pissed
my...
as hell.
Shiana is firing with prejudice.
She's like, y'all fucking interrupted my honeymoon for this?
I could have been having sex with my wife, but no.
I mean, this is
I'm doing
almost as good as having sex with her wife at this point, because she's about to blow up a Deridex. Shiana, go ahead and let me double check, make sure the damage is correctly set on the torpedoes, because you get an extra dice worth of damage for a full spread. Go ahead and roll when you're ready.
Oh, do we want to spend anything for like piercing or anything?
Deridexes
Yes.
are kind of big ships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And floating.
How much
Alright.
floating do we have left?
Okay, so how do I do that?
You have 2 floating momentum.
You just declare that you're gonna do
We
it.
also have another turn after. I have another roll after this. This is only the first.
Nope, this is the second.
Oh, this is the second?
Mhm.
Yeah, because our little escape maneuver was the first.
Oh. Okay.
So we would like to spend floating momentum to give our spread piercing.
Okay, so it will have piercing. So that will reduce the resistance by 4, flat out. Which means instead of having a resistance of normal Deridex is scale 6, it would have a resistance of 7. So its resistance is going to be 3. And
Okay.
Shiana, what you're going to do is under the USS Dauntless, just roll the Starfleet icon next to quantum torpedoes.
Boom, bitch!
Oh my
Lord.
god.
Fuck. Yes.
And each of those
God, I
effects is
fucking
2.
love my ship.
1,
Yeah.
2,
1,
4, 5,
3, 5, 7, 9, 13 damage.
and that's
Plus high yield and vicious one.
Yep. So and spread.
Oh, so doesn't that mean like for every 5 we also get another breach?
No, it means for every effect. Well, every effect you get half the damage again.
God.
So you did 10 damage with the original roll. Plus
So what I'm hearing
5.
is we just fucked their shit up.
You just gave them 6 breaches in 1 attack.
Yeah, we fired into that little stupid space between the wings. And they're like, fuck!
And
This
And
is almost
because-
better than honeymoon sex. Yes.
and-
Okay.
and because a Deridex is a scale 6 ship and an NPC ship, 6 breaches is enough to destroy it.
If the Deridex was a person, it would be like that moment when you hit your like funny bone and like your entire body locks up and then you like need to lie down.
I was just like, fuck you, fascist asshole.
Jonas is gonna think very loudly to the captain.
In this game, we punch the fuck out of space Nazis.
Jonas is gonna think very loudly to the captain. I hope that wasn't her boyfriend or best friend or brother or something.
I was gonna be like, and Bianca's just gonna be like, take that, Tal Shiar, asshole.
And Jonas, as Dauntless clears the minefield, you can see the mines basically going inert because their control system has been destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So you are free and clear to engage warp.
Captain, we're clear of the minefield and I'm ready to engage warp.
Do it.
Punching it.
All right. So, at this point, I am going to do a scene change because y'all have, I mean, with Dauntless hits the warp engines and y'all make for Orith.
Yay. Did I save Jez's exploded friend?
He died on scene. He was basically dead by the time
Damn
you got
it.
there.
But I saved everybody else.
He was the only casualty.
But so what happens now?
So now you've arrived in the Orith system. Two Romulan Republic scimitars decloak ahead of you. One you recognize as the Mene Sahe, the other as the RRW Lisette. And as they decloak, the Romulan fleet that was chasing the Dauntless drops out of warp, with additional warbirds decloaking as they do so. Their weapons are unpowered, their shields are down. And you're receiving a hail.
On screen.
Aye, Captain. On screen.
Captain West, this is Imperator Selvin. On behalf of my senior staff and my fleet, I am officially requesting asylum with the Romulan Republic.
As a captain of an Alliance vessel, I accept.
There's a dull thunk as Jonas's
You will-
forehead smacks into a console.
You will proceed to New Romulus under escort by the RRW Lisette and the RRW Minasahe.
I anticipate we'll have a fair bit more of an escort than that as we make our way toward the flotilla. Captain, I owe you a debt.
And you owe me a fiance.
And she just nods, and behind you, you hear a transporter effect as someone has beamed onto the transporter pad behind you, on the back side of the bridge.
And she senses him there, but first she looks at Selvin and she goes, I know that you were in the Romulus system before the shockwave hit, trying to get as many people out as you could.
She just kind of stares at you with this Romulan laser focus, waiting for you to continue.
I hope that one day you will be able to forgive us.
Perhaps, Captain. But today is not that day.
I understand. You will always have an ally in me.
Thank you, Captain. And I apologize for the level of force that was necessary to preserve the illusion.
Yeah, we weren't expecting that little piece of software that you sent over. That's gonna go to R&D for some looking at.
Consider it a gift.
Well received. Safe journey.
Jolan True. And she cuts the channel.
Alright.
Right as we
Red is what?
Red as Bianca's about to return it, and
Yep.
again the thing.
Yep.
God damn it.
And Bianca gets up from the captain's chair and she goes over to the transporter pad.
And Varek's standing, parade rest. Captain, permission to come aboard?
Granted. And she reaches up to one of the bruises on his face. You should go to sickbay.
I'll go to my sick bay, he says, and just kind of smirks. And Naomi, just for purposes of narrative, let me pull up his character sheet.
It's
Is who?
Diego Luna. It's Diego Luna, but Vulcan.
Basically, yes.
Yes. And Bianca goes, oh, I thought you'd be staying a while.
My crew's due some shore leave. Maybe our ships can rendezvous at Earth's space dock. From the looks of things, he says, just kind of looking around at the ceiling, which has some panels still hanging loose, you're going to need a few days in repair.
Well, I've also got some honeymoon days to make up to my first officer, so...
Well, we can all take some shore leave then, can't we?
How is your mother?
In counseling. It's going to be a while before she's really herself again, but she spent 70 years being someone else.
I can only imagine. Alright. And she straightens her uniform Picard style and she's like, I gotta get back to it. She heads back to the center of the bridge and she goes, Lieutenant Carden, set a
Captain.
course. Set a course for Earth space dock. Best possible speed.
There's a thumbs up because his face is literally face down through his holographic terminal. And then he like sits up and goes, engage.
And she approaches Naomi and she pats her on the shoulder and she goes, Good work out there today.
Thank you, Captain. I'm going to start analyzing this computer bug that we found, and hopefully we'll figure out something more about what hit our systems.
Oh, at least give us some more insight into what the Imperial Navy can throw at us. And then you kind of sense that her mental walls are relaxing, but not like completely.
Pick up any sort of feelings from you?
I mean, there's no ill will. It's just if you didn't know any better, it would be discomfort.
Okay.
Coming over to stand beside your station, ensign, is a large Klingon with like ruffled hair. If you don't mind, I would like to assist you in looking over this code.
Would appreciate the assistance.
On our way back, drinks are on me in the officers' mess. And no one tried to outdrink Sisram this time. Why would you try to outdrink a 10-foot lizard? That's just dumb.
Because
Well,
there is
it's
honor
fun.
in
It is
outdrinking
fun
the
to
dragon.
try to outdrink the lizard.
He is like 7 times your size.
And yet Koltesh tries every time.
Koltesh doesn't drink.
And yet I've come
Oh, he doesn't?
very
Okay.
close to outdrinking Sisram.
I did not know that. I am writing that down.
And sorry, Sarah, I just saw that message.
Oh no, you're fine. I didn't actually want to talk to myself anyway.
Okay,
I thought I was gonna be talking to
gotcha,
Jirok.
gotcha.
um,
I mean, that's a
but
conversation that's probably happening.
probably.
And if you wanted, we could do that. Like, we're kind of winding down here, but uh,
I don't see the point.
okay. I did want to ask. Well, no, we can hold that off for next week. Does anyone have any scenes that they would like to run before we close out for the evening?
I have one.
Okay, what you got?
Jonas meeting up with Catalea in the
Right.
holodeck.
I was like, I'll never need that holodeck map again. I'll just put it way the fuck over there. Journey the next week. Okay.
Although Naomi, one thing, Naomi, like, you did pick up one thing telepathically coming off of Bianca while she was talking to the other captain, Captain Vulcan
Santiago.
Diego Luna. You did catch her think directly at him, tease. Anyway, proceed.
Also, this is the Love Boat, not just the Dauntless.
Ship of ships.
So, in the holodeck, Jonas has the sun ship he's been working on pulled up, and
Mhm.
like the combination of the different technologies, like a little bit of Federation, a little bit of Bajoran, ancient Bajoran, and then
Mhm.
a fraction of what he knows of his own technology.
Yeah.
And he's just working on that, waiting for Catalea to show up.
Who and as he's waiting, just kind of trying to find ways to integrate some of this wildly divergent technology. You hear a chime at the holodeck arch appears, and you hear a chime,
Come on in.
and in swims Catalea. Jonas.
Hi. You were a huge help the last time you were in here with this. I was wondering if you had any sort of insights to make this more friendly for there's
The Delphine.
Keishan?
Yes.
That or the Delphine, to make it more
More
amenable
cetacean
for them to
friendly.
be able to- Yes.
Ooh. Well, she says, and she starts kind of swimming along the surface of the hull, like just kind of skin running. It would need to be about twice the size, but we can do that and still keep it hydrodynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And the support struts for the sails would probably have to get strengthened again.
Mm.
Although at the rate we're going, we're going to need neutronium for this thing. And she kind of winces for a second.
I mean, if we do a good enough design and I can show it to the right people, that might not be a problem.
That's true. And we could build the sail struts leaning against the tack so that the pressure of the solar wind and tachyon winds against them would actually would actually compress toward the ship instead of away from it, and that would help with any of the shearing stress maybe. And there's another chime at the door.
Come in.
And it's Dauntless, and Catalea. It's like, let me take this back down to Let me take this back down to Cetacean Ops and see what my coworkers and friends think. I'm
Of
sure they'll
course.
have some ideas too.
By all means.
And Dauntless, you come in just as Catalea kind of swims out the door.
I will like make room for her to pass and kind of give her like an approximation of a friendly smile.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I wasn't interrupting.
No, not at all. Catalea is just helping me to make this more Delphine friendly and Cetacean? Is that the word?
Cetacean.
Cetacean friendly.
I wasn't aware that the Delphine had ideas of going off world.
Well, I mean, they might not, but if they do, this could at least give them an option.
Normally, I would say that the captain would say something about uplifting species and the Prime Directive and everything, but
Well, fortunately, the captain already has a piece of this technology sitting in her quarters, I think.
well, then I suppose I have nothing to say.
But you're always allowed to say something. What brings you down?
I just wanted to make sure you were all right after today.
I'm probably going to wake up with a bunch of bruises, and I'm probably going to hurt tomorrow, but I'm pretty fine alright for now. Kind of exhilarated, actually. That was probably some of the best flying I've ever done.
It was interesting, I have to admit. I'm not used to a defector actually being interested in defecting.
Sometimes some people just mean what they say. I'm glad that we could trust the captain and Captain Santiago.
It is reassuring in some senses.
Are you hungry?
Not particularly, but I can accompany you if you wish to eat.
I'm actually starving. And, apparently we picked up, fresh produce the last time we were at Earth Space Dock.
I just kind of gesture to the door to the holodeck.
And as he's closing his program, he'll walk over to Dali and grab Dali's metal hand and start guiding her out of the hollow.
I did have a request.
Oh,
We are headed back to Earth Space Dock. And from what I could gather, it seemed Starfleet Academy in some senses made you uncomfortable.
Not Starfleet Academy. I actually enjoyed my time at Starfleet Academy. It was probably one of the most freeing aspects of being there. My parents are what makes me uncomfortable.
Do they live at the Academy?
No, but they live on Earth, and, well, they were probably there during the ceremony where I got my award, and they were probably looking for me, which is why I came back to the ship.
That's a rather large planet. I find that them being at the ceremony without any notification would be a bit strange.
They are Elarians.
She kind of like tips her head in like a way of conceit at that.
I haven't spoken to them since I joined Starfleet.
I assume they were not pleased with your decision.
No, they weren't. They wanted me to settle down and make a family. like they had planned.
I see.
Bef- I was in an arranged marriage back then, and I said no and joined Starfleet instead.
How very adolescent.
Well, to be honest, I could not stand the girl that they introduced me to and wanted me to marry. I could not picture myself living the rest of my life with her. And I live a very, very, very long time.
And I assume she was also a Lorian, so it would have been a rather long relationship.
Yes, it was an arranged marriage to help our species grow again.
You cannot fault your parents for wanting to help with their people.
No, but I fault them for not giving me a choice in the matter.
Perhaps things have changed.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure my mother's still mad at me, and well, I don't know. I can never tell what my father's thinking. My mother's more of the vocal one. You, I'm think if you ever met, you would probably get along with her. She's a xenobiologist.
You get this kind of look that's like a mix between like amusement and like, are you serious?
And he just smiles and gives your hand a squeeze.
I imagine that if I were to meet your parents, I am not the person that they would expect you to have allied yourself with.
Oh no. No, they wouldn't. I would probably. You would probably get stared at a lot and talked around as if you weren't there.
Mm.
And insulted severely. Without them actually insulting you by just speaking around you.
Somehow that seems like it would be more discomforting than directly attacking me.
They're too polite for that.
Polite.
Let me rephrase that. They're too
Diplomatic?
exactly.
Well, I was going to ask if you wanted to go somewhere, but perhaps we can stay on the ship instead.
If it's me and you, I don't mind going somewhere. I would rather be with you on Earth than here on the ship alone. Plus, they can't be all over the planet at any given time, so
I'll think about it.
okay.
And I think that's a really good place to end for the night.